Thank you very much. And today we're talking mental health and the workplace. Dr. Tiwatayo Lasebikon is our guest today. It's good to have you, Doctor. You are welcome.
Thank you.
The workplace. Now, this is a topic that it's been. Many people have spoken quite a lot about it. It's something that is very, very important in this particular, especially in these times, considering that the world is still recovering from the COVID pandemic or is still in the COVID pandemic. So there's quite a lot. We're looking at it from different aspects, working from home. But let's look at workplace as though you were going to work and all of that. How important is it that everyone maintains that healthy mind space in a work environment?
Okay, thank you. You know, last week I got inducted into the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria.
Okay.
So meaning that I'm now a certified HR professional.
Okay.
And the keynote speaker was talking, and she was talking about this same issue, you know, in person, talking about mental health and the workplace. And she said 5 years ago, 10 years ago, we were not really talking much about this, but we are doing that now, you know. And that's because we've come to realize that, there's no health without mental health. You know?
Okay, true.
And, you know, we are a combination of factors, and our mental health plays a lot of, you know, significant role, you know, in our well-being. And we can look at it from two ways. How your mental health affects your work, and how your work affects your mental health.
Okay.
So let's talk about how your mental health affects your work. You can imagine somebody who is depressed, you know, or person gets to work. Person may not even get to work at all because you're at home, you just don't feel like going anywhere, you know, you're just down. You're just down. You know, so obviously, you won't want to go to work. But eventually you now even, you know, pick yourself up and get to work. You will not function at the optimal level you should function.
Optimal capacity and all of that.
So definitely it will affect productivity at work. You can imagine even now talking about maybe even more serious mental illnesses. So somebody who is a top professional in the bank and develops something like maybe schizophrenia, you know, definitely that would affect, his or her work.
What a lot of people have learned to do these days, I found out that, is that in spite of whatever is happening, they find a way so that they are 50 or 60%. Like you said, you might not be functioning at 100, you won't be functioning at 100%, but they find a way to go through the rigors of the job with that 50 or 60%. So at times, it can be difficult to spot because they find a way to go through it. In those kind of scenarios, what could happen? You know, when people just, you might not know until maybe they get to that tipping point or that breaking point.
But you see, now organizations, especially multinationals, you know, now have things in place in which, you know, they can monitor your productivity. So imagine last year I was doing so well, and then this year comes, all my numbers are dropping, you know, and they can see objectively that I'm functioning at 50 or 60% of my capacity.
Of your capacity,
It's different if I'm a new staff. They may not be able to, you know that. But, an employee who has been here for 3 years, and suddenly your numbers are dropping.
I understand. So when you compare with what was happening before, you can, even if it seems like all is well with the person.
Exactly.
But when you look at productivity,
so you call the person in.
It's comparable.
So what's going wrong? You know, so you can imagine if what people do most of the time is to say, you know what, if you don't get your numbers back up, you're out of this place.
You're out of this place, yes.
But I'm supposed to be wondering, why is my top employee, you know, why is he suddenly, you know, dropping, you know, the numbers? Why is he suddenly not performing as well as he used to? And then we just have a talk, you know. And now you see that people actually have, you know, mental health clinics in their, you know, offices now.
The offices.
Yes.
But sometimes the issue is just to increase the salary. Sometimes.
But at least you find out.
In fact, most times.
No, but you know, you can imagine somebody who is going through a bitter divorce.
Okay, true.
You know, and that's why, he's having issues at work. Of course, you may not know because trying to keep it. But you can imagine there's an avenue to, you know, have such a conversation. Then you might know that. You can imagine somebody who was sexually assaulted last week or 2 weeks ago. You know, yes, the person may be at work, but, that would just be being at work but not being there.
Very true.
But without creating such an avenue, you know, to do that, you won't know, and you'll just be losing people. You know?
All right. So how about in the opposite, yes, there are scenario where the work is now affecting the mental health of the patient?
So there are many factors at work that can affect our mental health. You know, of course, positively and negatively. So, things that can affect our mental health negatively you are in a workplace where there's a lot of bullying. You know, I mean, there are some banks that are just terrible places to work. You know, you see, I mean, you know, you get to the work and your boss is calling you a fool. He's saying, you know, this and that, and then you know you go back to your office and you want to cry, but you know you just say, okay, don't let me cry. But I mean, you can imagine, because you know they're just abusing you. I mean, these things go on. You know, there's a lot of bullying. The culture is toxic. You know, and before we used to say just chin up, but I mean, people are tired of chinning up.
Like, you know, you get, like you mentioned now, you know, a boss, a bully. This is where I really want to pick up. A boss is bullying you, or let's say even harassing you sexually. And that is the boss, maybe in charge of the organization or amongst the top management or something. And then those same people are the people who would organize this mental clinic. It's going to be hard for me to sit down in such a place and talk about how the boss or the CEO is the problem. It's going to be a problem.
Okay, so now, you know, the way out really is that, so there are some companies that employ internal EAP providers. EAP means as employee assistance professional, you know, or employee assistance program, any of the two. So they employ such internally. And if that happens, well, you may not be able to tell the person that, okay, actually my problem is the boss. But I mean, if the person is a professional, you can. I mean, you know, I remember consulting for a place, and this woman, a banker, was telling me about how, you know, the banking structure is just so difficult, and then she kept on praising her former employee, you know, while abusing her present employee. And that's between me and the woman. So I'm not going to go back and tell the bank and say, see, people said you're a foolish man, you know.
But there should be some level of feedback.
Yes, there should be, but I won't say that this person said this person said this.
Okay.
Instead, what we are doing is that, you know, you are trying to change the culture of that environment. So you tell the man, see, you know, you even do, you know, workplace conferences for the leaders, leadership conferences. So we go to, you know, directors meetings and tell them, okay, this is the best way, this is what is going on now, you know, in big organizations. How do we change your culture so that we're able to affect the mental health of your people? If not, they will leave. You know, and people are leaving.
That is it. That is it. You've got it now. A lot of people are leaving. Dr. Siwata, I wish we had more time. There's a lot I still want to ask, but thank you very much for this contribution this morning. All right, that's it. I hope you're able to pick one or two things there. Let's just take this time out now. There's quite a bit more to come on the show. Stay with us.